This is George from High Tech Legion. We've recently gotten a look at Be Quiet products, which are making their way into the US. And today we're going to take a look at the Dark Power Pro 10, which is their top-of-the-line PSU, which is coming into the US starting almost immediately. We're going to be taking a look at the 1000-watt variety today. The Dark Power Pro 10s are fully modular power supplies, all 80 plus gold, except for the 1200 watt, which is 80 plus platinum. So they are some of the most efficient power supplies on the market. The Dark Power Pro 10 1000 watt is up to 94% efficiency. It uses a 135 millimeter Silent Wings fan for a virtually silent operation. We've seen the Silent Wings in action before, and it's very impressive in its air movement as well as lack of noise. The Dark Power Pro 10, as I said, is fully modular, comes with a 5-year warranty. 1000 watts, also single and multiple rail operation, which is selectable. Going around the back, we get a look at some of the Dark Power Pro 10's features. Starting over on the left, get a chart of the cable lengths. You have great cable lengths going on here. Everything is standard, 600 millimeters, and extending from there. Your 4 and 8 pin motherboard connectors are coming in at 700 millimeters, so using a full tower case is not going to be a problem at all. Taking a look at your hard drive and eSATA connectors, 600 millimeters to the first connector, 150 millimeters between them. So you're going to be able to run quite a bit right off of there. You've got 4 PCI Express connectors, all 6 plus 2 pin. That is a total of 8 connectors for 4 different cards, with dual connectors. Also, coming off of one, you do have a PCI Express motherboard connector added on there as well. Taking a look down, you've got the dimensions. As you can see, not a standard size power supply. It is 190 millimeters in depth. We've seen them as small as 140, 160, 180, but we are going 190 here. We've got the output chart over here. Big thing being 12 volts, 996 watts, 83 amps. That is selectable between 1 rail or 4 rails. When you're buying a very high-end piece of equipment, you want everything in place, and packaging presentation is one of those things. Be Quiet has yet to let us down in that respect, and obviously they're not going to here. Opening up the box, you've got really nice packaging, and the unit itself, just absolutely gorgeous, which we'll take a look at. Nice manual, beautiful box for your cables, and everything else nicely packaged. One of the things being, when you do pick up the box of the Dark Power Pro 10, it is very heavy. You have to keep in mind, the power supply itself weighs in at close to 9 pounds, so add in the additional cables and whatnot, and you've got a very, very hefty package. The Dark Power Pro 10 itself is just a phenomenal looking unit. Let's start with the side plates. Rather than having a sticker or anything else, this is actually an embossed aluminum side plate with raised lettering, 80 plus gold certification, Be Quiet logo, Dark Power Pro 1000 watt. Really nice looking, does appear on both sides, so whichever direction you're going to face it, you are going to be able to see that. Going down to the bottom, we can see really nice grading system. Straight grates right across, nicely black finished all the way around with the Silent Wings fan right underneath. Clearly visible. You can see that it is a Silent Wings from the ripples in the blades themselves. Really went far beyond expectation using a Silent Wings fan in a power supply. The fan also is vibration dampened on the inside, so you're not going to pick up any resonant frequencies from the fan. Going up top, standard sticker with power output on the top. And around the nose, input, on-off switch. Very simple. And finally, going around the back on the modular side, as you can see, 24-pin 24-pin motherboard cable is built in. It is not modular. You've got 4 PCI Express connectors up on the top, total of 8 leads, obviously coming off them, 1 with the PCI Express motherboard connector built onto it, 5 connectors for drives and peripheral cables. The overclock connector, that is actually the connector for the piece which is going to give the command for single or multiple rail. It is selectable. There is a jumper you can put in to make it permanently single rail, or there is a switch which you can put on the back of your case. The P8, P4 connector right here. Interestingly, 1 connector, 3 cables included. Why? One is an 8-pin, one is an 8 and an 4+4, and one simply a 4+4. So you only need to run the cable that you need. And finally, 4 fan connectors. There is a built-in fan controller in the power supply unit, which will control your case fans along with the PSU fan if you so desire to hook it up that way. If you are hooking up to the fan connector, you cannot use any other fan controller. It has got to be connected directly to the fan controller with the fan. One other thing of note when looking at the Dark Power Pro 1000 watt, the end on your outside is a hard rubber end. It is not metal. Therefore, no gasket is required. The gasket is built in and pre-installed from the factory. The quality of the Dark Power Pro 10 doesn't stop with the accessories, that's for sure. Taking a look, first off, you've got the owner's manual. Remember that Be Quiet is a German company. German is going to be the first language you encounter. Moving on to page 15 starts the English manual. Very complete. Safety instructions, introduction, installation guide, as well as troubleshooting guide. Moving on, good quality power cable. This is a European cable. This is a European sample, therefore US will come with, of course, a US power cable. Okay, moving on to some more of the interesting things. Overclocking adapter goes in an empty PCI slot. Simple rocker switch. However, really nicely made. All black and not the standard dip switch type we're used to seeing on things like this. Really nice rocker switch with a light to tell you it's on. This is going to choose between single or multiple rail. Overclock on is a single rail application. Should you want to use the single rail permanently, just throw the jumper into the back of the power supply. 4 fan cables. As I said, the unit does have a fan controller built in. This will plug into the rear of the power supply itself, and your fan will plug in. 1 fan per connector. That is all that is recommended, and you cannot use any other fan controller with it. You've got standard wire ties, as well as a really nice assortment of Be Quiet Velcro wire ties, which are fabric, Velcro, really nice looking setup right there. You've got 5 standard black screws, as well as 5 thumb screws. Good looking thumb screw, really nice and meaty to hold the unit in place. The cables for the Dark Power Pro 10 are presented in a really nice black box with lid, Be Quiet logo on the top, as well as Dark Power Pro. Cables themselves, really nice braiding on all of the cables. Heavy gauge, yet have some good flexibility to them. They are a little stiff at the ends, however, you're going to find, which is due to the heat shrink and tying at the ends, but obviously nothing we can't live with, especially given that it's a very heavy cable. Heavy cable obviously important for proper conductivity. As you can see, all of the cables basically identical in the braiding and the ends. Good length on all of them. As we said, they start standard 600 millimeters out to the first access point, going on from there for the SATA and hard drive connectors. The Be Quiet Dark Power Pro 10 1000 watt is unquestionably out of the box one of the most impressive PSUs we have seen. In addition to the 1000 watts continuous power and 80 plus gold certification, we find some really interesting new features. The overclocking switch per se, which allows for single or multiple rail operation. We also find a fan controller in the unit, which is very unique as it is built in. It is not an external fan controller, which can control up to 4 case fans. Very, very nice presentation as far as the accessories themselves. The rear overclocking switch, very nice. All of the cables, absolutely beautiful. Very heavy duty, flexible, great braiding on them. All in all, just really an impressive package from Be Quiet.